Hi, I'm Ursula. I'm going to read to you today from my third story collection, Seeds. Um, it's a little different from my two previous collections in the sense that it includes more literary work and more even prose poems. So I'm so grateful to Anana for the opportunity to include those. Some of these stories go back to the beginning of my publishing career, which is 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago. The story I'm going to read from was published in this magazine back when it was edited by Lorraine Fillier. Some of you will know who she is. And it's a story about a pandemic. So for that reason, I thought it would be fun for people to hear because it offers kind of an interesting perspective on what we're going through now. And also, it's about a self-taught woman scientist, which I think is very cool. Judy. That was the summer all the non-smokers died. It was a hot summer, murderously hot. Everyone who had air conditioning kept it going day and night. So, of course, the first thing they checked was Legionnaire's disease. Frank and I didn't have air conditioning, so we slept through the days with the fan on. And come dusk, we'd climb up on the roof with Judy, our cigarettes, a bottle, and Judy's dog, Hamilton. Hamilton didn't smoke and drink like the rest of us, but he survived that summer anyway. The tobacco fiasco, as it came to be known, turned out not to affect dogs, but we didn't know that at the time. Legionnaire's disease didn't pan out, and after that, we didn't know anything at all. We tried not to think too much about what we didn't know. That's why we spent so much time up on the roof getting drunk. Judy was up there with us, but she was thinking. Right after the tobacco fiasco got cleared up, we left for the East Coast to watch the whales die. It was a strange thing to do, drive all those miles to watch them die. It was Judy's idea. She said she wanted to document it. Document what? Frank asked, like she was crazy. She was crazy. We've got to document it, she said, like we were crazy. And we were, but we listened to her because she'd been right about the cigarettes. We listened to her even though she stuffed the trunk of Frank's Volkswagen so full of camera equipment, we hardly had room for the tent. She'd done the same thing when all those people started dying. While Frank and I slept, Judy would be out there making notes and taking photographs. In the evenings, she'd join us on the roof. And although she'd already been up all day, she'd spend the night measuring her gathered data against each new theory that entered her head between jokes, cigarettes, and swigs off the bottle. We ran out of cigarettes around 4:30 one of those mornings, and it was Judy who offered to walk up to the 7-Eleven to pick up a deck. She explained that she was the least drunk of the three of us, and not to worry, she'd take Hamilton with her. They ran all the way home from College Street. Frank and I couldn't understand it. What with Judy's smoker's lungs? Even Hamilton was breathless by the time they got up to the roof, and he's a big non-smoking dog. Judy waved the pack of cigarettes around like it was a live grenade. It was. We all smoked like forest fires till sunrise. She yelled it so loud she woke the neighbors, but Judy didn't care. She knew she was onto something. Frank and I were too drunk to get excited, but Judy ran downstairs, cigarette in hand, to dial the hotline to the Surgeon General's office. She read them her statistics for at least an hour, and when she got off the phone, she came back out on the roof and worked on the second bottle with us. By the time it was finished, daylight had arrived, so we called it a night and all went downstairs to sleep. The headlines made the afternoon papers. Judy never did get any credit for it. Except that people stopped dying. Tobacco prices rose faster than interest rates until the government got nervous and imposed sanctions. They knew it would look bad if people were spending so much money on cigarettes they couldn't afford to eat, never mind pay their taxes. After that, prices leveled off, but by then, every backyard in the city was planted with tobacco, and we were already halfway to the east coast. They were huge, pale gray things, and they'd come moaning out of the sea in that white light you see only on the ocean at sunrise. Just when you thought you'd seen the last one, another would appear, its cavernous head lunging sadly for the shoreline. Judy would be there to greet it, embracing her tripod as though it was some strange prehistoric tree, counting the seconds till the shot was perfect. Frank and I walked out to the road after 3 days, leaving Judy on the beach with the folks, her cameras, and all those dying whales. She hardly saw us go. She didn't even notice when we took Hamilton with us. He was a carnivorous dog. But after 3 days, all those whale carcasses had him as grossed out as we were. Thanks so much. That's all I'm going to read for now.